Test lights. What is a test light? Many of you guys have probably seen these. They're very basic tools. Can be very useful, but you have to be very careful as well. So what our test light is it's got one end that is a clamp. It's usually for our ground, and we are connected through a wire here to inside is a light bulb, and we have a probe, a metal probe here. This test light, unlike your meter, will not give you any numbers or voltage readings. It will simply tell you when voltage is present. Now let's do a couple of experiments here, and let's go ahead and hook up our ground to ground. So we're hooked up here. Now every time this shows the presence of voltage, it will illuminate a red light bulb. So let's test it across the power source. Whoop. Here we go with our red light, right? Going into our switch. I've got a red light power coming out of the switch. We've got power. Clearly the light bulbs are on. But look at what happens. Right here we've got the light bulb on. What happens here? My light here is illuminating, but it's very dim. And look how it's changing my circuit. Why? I've got a separate ground here. What we did is we turned this into a series parallel. So another reason why, one reason why test lights aren't great is because they can change the dynamic of your circuit, and that can be an issue. Now, granted, I'm not testing in between two lights that work, and that's the problem, is this doesn't give you a number. So if you're looking for numbers, test light's not going to help you for finite stuff, but it is going to tell you, hey, there's voltage, and that's what this is good for. And you can see at ground we have no voltage, right? So we had voltage coming in, we have no voltage coming out. That's what our test light tells us. Now, here's the problem with the test light. I seem to always stab myself with them because it's essentially a shank, but like I just did. But the problem with the test light is you are adding a branch to an electrical circuit, and that's a problem, especially because if you remember parallel circuits, what happens when we add branches? It's like adding lanes to a freeway, and we start to change the resistance in the circuit. It starts to go down, which means our amperage starts to go up, right? Even if it's a little bit. Here's why it's dangerous. The computer controls in your vehicle, anything remotely modern, does not like any amperage spikes at all. And so if I have a computer controlled circuit and add a branch in parallel, we have a slight amperage spike, you smoke a PCM, you smoke a transmission control module. Control modules are not cheap. And so smoking one simply because, when I say smoke one, meaning you let the magic smoke out, or you popped a fuse or something. I have seen lots of PCMs get blown with these bad boys right here. So be very careful. If you're working on old cars, test lights are great. I prefer numbers. You're doing the same thing. You're doing the same amount of work. There's no less work being done, except for this one, you need to know what you're looking for. As long as you know what you're looking for, this is your best bet every single time. But if you want something quick, is there voltage, is there no voltage, your test light can help you out. So that's test lights in a nutshell. So I will see you guys in the next videos.